Hey everybody, this is a follow-up video from my license plate restoration project. And in that video, I went through the restoration of the dealership frame that goes around the license plate, straightening and restoring and powder coating the license plate. And then there was a surprise that I found, which was the original dealership backing plate that goes behind the license plate. But as you can see, this thing is not clean at all. It's also not straight. Dirty on the front and back. And so this project is going to be doing the best I can to clean this and straighten it. And so what I'm going to be using to clean it and straighten it, for cleaning it, I'm going to use a soot sponge, something that is used to clean like either smoke or dirt off of art or other paper products, using a dry cleaning rubberized sponge. And then I'm going to use a book press to try and straighten this out. So let's get started on that project now. This is the original smoke and soot eraser that we're going to be using to clean up these dealership license plates. As we get started on this project, one of the keys is it's just to be used very lightly and in a sweeping motion. You're not supposed to use much pressure at all. So let's go ahead and see how clean we can get this thing. The first of two is now completed. Now, as you can see, this is not 100% clean, but after going through this, I did get a lot of the surface dirt off. And I think what we are seeing here now is the results or remnants of water damage, which is why I'm not gonna be able to get out some of this discoloration because it's not actual dirt. It's also most likely warped from the water, but I still will try and straighten this out. Now let's clean the second one now. All right, so we're now on to the second dealership license plate. And so let's go ahead and start cleaning that off. And as a reminder, just go in sweeping motions to try and get as much of the surface dirt and dust off of this plate. After spending a good amount of time using the soot sponge, I was able to get this cleaned up to what you see now. I was not able to get all of the dirt off. Now, while this was already here, that is also what would happen if you press too hard with the soot sponge. And so I noticed around the edges up here, if I pressed a little bit too hard, some of the orange was starting to lift, which I did not want to have happen. So my goal is complete. I was able to clean this off the best I could without pulling up any of the coloring or creating any discoloring. And so now let's go ahead and see what we can do about getting these things straightened out. What you see here is the base plate or bottom of a book press. And what I've done is I've put the dealership license plate into a piece of plastic, and I did that for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't want any of the orange to bleed off onto the wood and remove some of the coloring from the dealership plate. And also I wanted to prevent this from sticking to the wood because we are going to put some pressure on it and bolt it down. So let's go ahead and get this top piece on and get this bolted down. We now have the first of two dealership plates inside of the book press. So let's go ahead and check this out in a day or so to see how it looks after giving it some pressure. All right, it's been sitting in here for just about 36 hours. So let's go ahead and pull it apart and see what she looks like. So this is the finished product. It's definitely better. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is a lot better than the way it started. And so now I'm going to do the same thing with the second plate. And this is the completed version of the second dealership backing plate. So again, cleaner than it was, straighter than it was, but nowhere near perfection. So we're now completed with this project and we can get these back onto the car. Now, many have asked, why would I go through such an effort to clean up the dealership backing plate that's going to sit behind the license plate? Well, here's why. One of them is not going to stay behind the license plate. Given that this car is going to end up being show car worthy, and I will be entering it in car shows, one of these plates one of these dealership plates, backing plates, will be used as more of like a marketing display at the car show to show the original and authenticity of everything on this car. We are looking to restore it to be 100% authentic, 100% original, with limited to no aftermarket parts. And we think it's going to just be really cool to be able to show that we still have not only the dealership frame that goes around the plate, but we still have that backing plate. So stay tuned for more content on the restoration of my 1966 Lincoln Continental. Thanks, guys.